100% privately funded. I have millions and millions of dollars of worth of storage facilities that I own myself, and I haven't put a dime of my own money into purchasing them because I borrow that money from private lenders. I know how to find money. I'm a money magnet. All right. And so you should just check out and see what I do. What am I doing to find the money? Okay. So check out stacyrossetti.com. stacyrossetti.com. Okay. And click on investor and check out what I do. Now, you cannot ask anybody for money. You can't be like, you can't guarantee like, hey, can you give me some money and I'll guarantee you 10% interest or 20% interest or 20% returns or anything like that. You can't do that. All right, that's like against SEC rules, okay? All you can do is educate them. Educate. So when you come to this page, all I'm doing is like saying like, hey, this is what private money is. Check me out. This is how it works or whatever, right? So that's kind of what you can do. So check that out. And then if you know what you're doing, like I saw a few people in here that know that have done multifamily. I don't know when you say multifamily, that could mean like a duplex, a triplex, a quad, or it could mean like 150 units. I have no idea. Now, if you know how to syndicate, and you can syndicate for storage. I mean, if you know how to raise money, then raise money and raise money for storage as well too, right? But you could always learn how to syndicate. That's one thing. It's like, how do you syndicate? Can you set up a fund? Now, most of the time when you're setting up funds, like we're in the process of setting up a fund right now, you have to have some experience. Like nobody's going to give you money if you like, no, like this is my first deal. I'm going to go set up this like $10 million fund or whatever, but that's kind of the way that it progresses too, right? So like, we started out with like, smaller facilities. We're slowly moving up, and now we're in the process of creating a fund that we can use to just go out and buy like mismanaged facilities and stuff. And that's like, and we've been doing this for 5 years. Okay. All right. So good questions. What is credible investor in the eyes of a private lender? Like a credible investor is going to be, so like if you joined Storage Nerds, all right, my lenders would lend to you based on the fact that you are my student and they know that I will be helping you along the way to bring that property that you buy up to fruition. That's the only way that they'll lend, is if they know that you're going to stay in the program and have me as a coach. So that would be one way to get credibility, is to have a coach mentor you and have their lenders lend to you. I'm not sure if anybody does that, but that's what we do, right? Credibility in the eyes of a lender is usually if you've done a deal. If you haven't done a deal, then you need to partner. So for instance, I have one student in the coaching program that he didn't have any money. He didn't have any ideas. So he partnered with somebody and they're just a 50-50 split. All right. And they bought like a $500,000 or maybe $600,000 facility. He brought the money. The guy brought the money, and the guy that is in the program, he's the boots on the ground person that's kind of managing everything. All right. So that's how that works. Okay, good. What else? Now, ask me questions. Okay, another one. Mark says, how do you know these facilities are mismanaged? Mismanaged facilities are, let's see. Mismanaged facilities. These are 50% or less. 0 to 50% or less vacant or full, I guess. Is it full? 0 to 50% full. That's a mismanaged facility. Or a mismanaged facility could be like cash only. So I have a student right now, just at a coaching call, and she has a facility that is worth like, when it's 100% full, it's gonna be worth like $900,000. And the owner wants to sell it for like around $500,000 or something like this, or $525,000 or something. But the facility is only cash, and it's not 100% full. It's like 80% full. So really, it's probably worth maybe $600,000 or something like this. Or they want to sell for $500,000, but and it's full. It's like 80% full. and they're not charging enough. They're not charging what they should be. So there's a little value add in raising the rents. There is value add in getting it full, right? So they want $500,000. Well, the issue is with mismanaged facilities that there's no P&L, there's no balance sheet, there's no tax returns, there's no rent roll. This person that wants to sell this $500,000 facility does not want to give anything. And so the truth of the matter is like when you're trying to sell something for $500,000 and you have like no proof of income, especially on the commercial real estate side, right? Like it's all income based. It's all income based, right? The value of your property is based on the income. Okay. If you can't prove that, then you shouldn't be able to sell it for what it's worth. So they're saying, it's worth like, it could be worth like up to 900 grand, but it's 80% full. So they're trying to sell for 500 grand or whatever. And it's actually a very nice facility. So it's not dumpy looking. Some people think that mismanaged facilities are like dumpy, ugly ones. I buy like the dumpy, ugly ones, but this one is like not dumpy and ugly. It is a nice facility, except for it's cash only. Cash only. Can you imagine? They make like 100 grand a year. Not 100. I guess it was like, I can't remember. And it was almost like 100 grand, like maybe 80 grand or something a year. And they are cash only. Can you imagine? That is what is a mismanaged facility. They are not running that thing to the potential. When you have an income producing property, it's so funny. It's like, once I started getting all this coaching, I've been coaching now for a while, but like you just find the weirdest facilities. Like in your mind, you don't comprehend that people can do this. Like I have a student, it's like a $1.5 million facility and it's almost 300 units and the owner does not own a computer. That's a mismanaged facility. All right. Income producing. You find like the weirdest stuff, honestly, if you get out there and start looking. Now, guess what? If you go to Crexy, if you go to LoopNet, if you go to the MLS, guess what? They're all going to have their P&Ls and balance sheets and stuff like that. Right? And they're going to want to sell at the top dollar. Because with an income producing property, right, they have a P&L and a balance sheet. Rent roll, taxes. We got an offer. I told you all this last week if y'all showed up. Like we bought a facility for $250. We got an offer for $830 on our property. And the reason why is because when I talked to the guy, he was like, what do you want to sell it for? I was like, look, we make like 90 grand a year on this thing. It's like, I have a P&L, I have a balance sheet, I have tax returns, I have rent roll, I have everything that you need to prove that this thing at an 8 cap is $830,000. So I want at least 830, and I could probably get more if I put it to a 7 cap. It's a secondary market. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. But that's what you get. That's the difference between an income producing property and a cash and a mismanaged facility.